Greetings everyone, Jim Walker here. Welcome back. You may be coming directly from part one of this video, or you may have found the video on its own. Regardless, welcome to the video. Welcome back to all returning viewers. In the first half of the video, which I recorded moments ago, I was dealing with the way that I practice and teach the multiple bounce roll, working on creating that illusion of that one sustained note that we try to strive for when we play a roll like that, especially in an orchestral context, but any context. Want to recreate an experiment we did when I was a freshman or sophomore in college. This is back at Ithaca College. Gordon Stout was teaching there at the time. And we would have a weekly class for the studio, a weekly meeting, Wednesday afternoons. They called it rep class, repertory class. I think my graduate school, Northern Illinois University, I believe they call it percussion convocation. There's some name for it like that. It was just a meeting of all the students, whichever teachers you were studying with, the whole extended studio got together. And sometimes it would be for student performances, sometimes it would be for a guest artist, sometimes it would be for the teacher or teachers to present certain instructional materials. This one had to do with the rolls. As the class approached, we got the word from Gordon, bring your snare drum sticks. This rep class, bring your snare drum sticks. So we dutifully brought our snare drum sticks, walked into the rehearsal room where we held the class, and saw snare drum, lovely Hinger touchstone snare drum. Boy, do I miss that drum. And then next to it, a pad and a microphone and a reel-to-reel tape deck. Reel-to-reel. Well, I wish I had the Hinger. I wish I had that reel-to-reel deck. But the purpose was to kind of check out everyone's rolls and to examine the multiple bounce roll in general. And I'm not sure what prompted Gordon to do this that semester, that day, because he didn't do it any other time my 4 years there. Because I thought it was kind of an interesting thing, which is why I'm sharing it here. I thought it was an interesting little experiment. So the first step was everyone went up one at a time and we basically auditioned. Everyone go up, play your best roll, and we picked out the best 4 or 5 to continue on to the next step. And of course I got cut right away because my roll really stank at that point. But the best, I think it was best 5, moved on from that. Gordon fired up the reel-to-reel deck, had the microphones going, play your roll, and we're just going to play and listen back to it. And this is where I'm hoping that the magic of video editing technology will come into play. If it does, you will see, because you'll be actually seeing this video. If it doesn't work, I don't know what I'll do. But you would just take your roll and played it, and then we listened back on the tape deck at half speed. As I mentioned in the first video, I don't have the greatest snare drum roll. The legacies of, respective legacies of Billy Gladstone, Art Blakey, Louis Bellson, nothing to fear from me. But it's an okay roll. It gets me by. So what you just heard a moment ago, assuming my editing software cooperates, a slowed down version of that, so you could hear the individual bounces. The next step to really hear what each hand was doing, this is where the practice pad came in. Same roll, but instead of both hands being on the snare drum, one hand on the drum, one hand on the pad. Naturally, the drum will be louder. You will hear those notes clearly compared to the notes on the pad, so you can isolate what one hand is doing. So, as I begin this, I haven't done this before I started recording this video, so this could be a very embarrassing moment. We'll see what it sounds like when I do it. So, same roll. Thinking's played the same roll that I just played a minute ago, but one hand on each surface. And what we found on just about every roll that our top five finalists played was 3, maybe 4 bounces per hand as you were playing the rolls. I don't remember if we switched hands or not. I don't think we did. But it was just interesting to know. And honestly, looking back on it, other than just spending a class working on our rolls, I'm not sure what the it's a little embarrassing. I'm not sure what the purpose of the exercise was other than the general study of rolls, but it was just interesting to see that that's what we ended up with. It was about 3 bounces. You didn't have a ton of bounces. In the first video, you saw that I recommend learning to produce a lot of bounces. And if you saw that video, you remember that at a certain point I said, you're going to lose a lot of those bounces. Definitely, because I'm getting way more than 3 or 4 as I do that. So I'm putting it out there again. If I have a brainstorm and a memory comes back to me of why Gordon had us do this particular exercise, I'll post an addendum or post it in the comments. But I just thought it was an interesting little experiment that I thought I might recreate here on YouTube. So thanks for your time and attention. Appreciate your checking out the videos. Catch up with you next time.